This week's parashat Behar v'chukotai, the double parsha this week, and we're closing up the book of Vayikra. And so I saw a nice idea at the start of the parasha. The parasha speaks about at the very beginning Shemitah, the concept of working the land for 6 years. The seventh year, you let the land rest. And then it talks about after 7 Shmitot, on the 50th year, we have the Yovel. So every year we read this parasha. It's around the Sfirat Omer time, so we're used to counting 7 times 7, getting up to 50 for Shavuot. Here we have the same thing when it comes to years. 7 years, Shemitah, and then 7 Shmitas. Year number 50, we have Yovel. So the parasha says that we're going to sanctify this special year. We're going to blow the shofar everywhere. And then in Pasuk Yud, it says Perek Kafei Pasuk Yud, V'kidashtem et shnat ha-hamishim shana, you're going to make the 50th year holy. Ukratem dror ba'aretz, and you're going to declare freedom, proclaim freedom in the whole land. L'chol yoshevea, Yovel hi, tiyeh lachem. It's going to be for everybody, this Jubilee year, this Yovel year, and it's going to be a big party. You're going to send away, the slaves are going to go free. V'shavtem ish al achuzato v'ish al mishpachto tashuvu. And everyone's going to return back to their ancestral home, to their achuzato, their ancestral heritage, and then everyone's going to go back to their family. So we're going to see later on in the parasha that there's all these laws of land, that if you sell land, you can only really lease land for 50 years, but eventually it's going to go back to the original owners. If it's not a walled city, it goes back to the original families, the way it was back in the times of Yehoshua, that everybody has their place. Hashem made it that every single Jew from the tribes has a nachala. Levi'im are a little bit different. Karmas, they live in main cities, but from the main tribes, everybody has a portion in the land of Israel, and that's your portion. And you can't get rid of that portion. You really have to do things like sanctifying it to the Beit HaMikdash. It's very complicated to actually lose your land. So comes year number 50, not only the Jewish slaves go free, now they're free again, and they can go back to their homes and in that way, but also their land goes back to them. So anybody who has leased their land to somebody else, year number 50, it goes back to them. So I saw a beautiful idea in the Emek HaDavar and the Netziv. So the Pasuk says that each person goes back to Achuzato, each person goes back to their ancestral homeland, and then it repeats, each person goes back to Mishpachto. So he says, even Afidu Ein Lo Achuza, even if he doesn't have his own personal grab in the land of Israel for whatever reason, I'm not clearly sure why they wouldn't, but if for whatever reason he wouldn't have it, still he goes back. Why? Because he has to go to his Ikar Mishpachto, he has to go back to his family, and that way everybody can get together. Called Bali Mishpacha Zeh Lazeh. You could have a kibbutz of the whole family together, and that's going to bring unity and it's going to bring love amongst the family. And then on the word tashuvu that says you should return there, he explains that not only are you going to come back and visit your family and just like, say hi to them, how's everybody doing, but rather you want to do a real tashuvu. You really want to go lechalutin, completely back to your family. Because this is what happens. 50 years go by. And a lot has changed over those 50 years. People have sold their land, they've moved on, they've married, they've had children, they've had grandchildren, the family extended away from each other. He says, now we have an opportunity every 50 years to go back to our original homeland, to go back to where we all come from. The whole mishpacha gets back together. The grandparents, the brothers and sisters of the everybody's getting back together. And he says it has to be a real tashuvu, a real getting back together. And what happens when you get back together? You start to figure out, why do we split up in the first place? Make that shalom bayit amongst those cousins and those distant cousins who haven't spoken for so many years. But now all of a sudden we're creating this brand new shalom, this brand new getting together, and that's the real beauty and the simcha that's going to take place in the Yovel year. That all the Jews come back together and all the families come back to their original homeland with their grandparents, whoever's still alive. But you get back together, see the whole mishpacha, and now's the time to make peace with each other, to become one big family again. I was thinking a little bit, to relate it to what's going on right now here in Israel with the whole corona. So people have been away from their parents, from their grandparents for many weeks, and now really for the last week, for the first time, you're seeing story after story. I have some of my friends who I haven't seen their parents it's really since before Pesach time, and now it's like, oh my God, unbelievable. Now for the first time, the government's opened things up and people can get back to their family. And that's only like a month away. But you have to realize that the people that we're not thinking about from our family to go and see right now, how far have we moved away from them? And here's a real opportunity. Come back to where we come from. Come back to our source, to our family's home, and try to make peace with each other. That was just very beautiful words from the Netziv. Shabbat Shalom.